Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk about Maggotkin of Nurgle, and we've had one of the Warscrolls leak in much the same fashion that we saw the Auric Warclans and Stormcast Eternals Warscrolls leak. I mean, it's not sort of a leak, it's just a repackaged sort of red boxes coming out and the new Warscrolls being shown in these box sets. So we're going to talk about one of the Warscrolls, and because we know some of the leaks that we're pretty sure are true, we're going to be able to look at that Warscroll with a little bit more detail on what it might look like. Also thinking about sort of how things are working in Age of Sigmar at the current time, we'll sort of discuss where we think this Warscroll is going to go that we currently have. Now, it is interesting because the Warscrolls we know don't get abilities on them. They are just the stat line now in the box set. So that's all we're going to have to work on, and we're going to maybe make some assumptions and talk a little bit about. But, you know, all of this is all good fun regardless to talk about these Warscrolls and sort of see what they can do. So without further ado, let's get cracking on and let's check out this Warscroll and let's have a good little bit of discussion about what exactly it is and what we're going to see from it. Alright, so the Warscroll we've seen in question is the Putrid Black King's Warscroll. I guess one of the most synonymous Warscrolls for the Maggotkin of Nurgle, a unit that has been a long time fan favourite of many a Nurgle player. So, first things first, let's get looking at the Warscroll and let's talk about what's changed. So, whoever took this photo didn't take the whole stat block the same, but we can at least see save. I'm going to assume, just looking at it, we've got the same stat line here for the unit, which is fine. So, we've got that 4-up save, which is nice. They're going to be on 4 wounds, potentially 5, maybe if that stays as a rule the Sergeant is getting. But the big change here comes on their attack profile. So they've got 5 attacks rather than 3 now. At 3s and 3s, -1 rend, which is awesome, and 1 damage. Now, -1 rend obviously is amazing. Black Kings have always suffered from not having rend, and the fact they get the -1 is, well, we lost that ability to get -1 rend on Black Kings with the removal of Warscroll battalions and the Blightsist, if I'm remembering correctly, the battalion that gave us a -1 point of rend to all the Black Kings in it. But we've now got rend standard, which is really solid, and 2 extra attacks on the current profile. We're still in 1-inch range with our weapons, which means the Black King's probably going to work best as multiple small units, which they always sort of have. And for me, this is an interesting point. So, are we going to be losing D6 exploding attacks with these Black Kings? My thought behind it is yes. I think we're just going to go to rolling of 6 to hit gives 2 instead of 1 instead of D6. The 5 attacks there just sort of started extended, meaning we're going to 10. I think that may be something we may see. We might not, but I don't know. With like the extra attacks and putting them on the profile, I don't see them keeping the D6 hits. I potentially see them, you know, going to just 1 explode on them, which is not terrible if they've got the extra attacks, they've got the rend and all that sort of stuff, and you can buff them right. But that's something I've been thinking of, like, well, they like simplifying things down, so maybe that will be something they do. We obviously know we've gained Disgusting Resilience, so we currently are thinking we're 4 wounds on a 4-up save with a 5-up ward after is pretty solid. That's going to be a really tanky unit for the Maggotkin of Nurgle. Like, that's just really solid, and we can imagine that, you know, the Putrid Blight Lords are also going to be somewhat similar in their stat line and their weapons, which is going to be really nice as well. And then I would say we're likely going to lose the Virulent Discharge, which is the one where the Black Kings do mortal wounds or heal Nurgle units around them and stuff like that. Mainly because that's sort of, I think, all rolled into the new sort of Pestilent point system that we're seeing for the Nurgle coming with the new Battle Tome. The whole sort of, you get points on you and potentially take mortal wounds as you're around. It's sort of the same abilities. I think all the models that have those abilities, like Virulent Discharge, will see them removed from their Warscrolls. But I guess now, what do you all think of this new Putrid Black King's Warscroll? Has it got you excited for the Black Kings and Nurgle in general? I hope we can see a couple more of these coming out sometime soon. It'd be really good to get some ideas of where we're going with these Nurgle Warscrolls. We've obviously seen a little bit of information, the leaks that have come out already, like Plague Bearers to 2 wounds. I'll put a link to that video up the top of the video. You can go check that out. But definitely, yeah, let us know your thoughts on Black Kings. What are you hoping for? What do you think of all the things we discussed in the video? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, drop us a comment in the video and let us know what you enjoyed about it as well. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fun community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the description of the video to our Discord server. You can come chat with me and other members. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining Patreon or YouTube members linked in the video's description, or by getting some merch from Teespring, also linked in the video's description. We'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel on Patreon and YouTube members, so a special shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Alvarin Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Adina226, Anton Nielsen, JJ Austrian, and Average Wargamer. And a shout out to our YouTube members as well: Greenridge Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Ziot, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, and Wolfreak Nick. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Everything here is done by her. She does an amazing job, so thank you very much. And lastly, a special shout out to Xmorphic, who does all the background work on the Discord server, keeps it running smoothly and makes it amazing, because I am terrible with computers. So thank you, Xmorphic, as well. That's it for today though, folks. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.